Oh my god! There's people up here! He's in the car! Oh! Welcome once again, everybody. This is Zonky the Donkey. First off, for that last little clip, credit to Redsausa from the PUBG subreddit for that little highlight clip. This is part 2 of my aiming series. My first video regarding aiming is, well over 70,000 views, one of the most popular tutorial vids on YouTube right now. And what we're going to do today is touch on some more intermediate and advanced aiming tactics that a lot of new players aren't necessarily going to be aware of exactly how some of these mechanics work. So the first thing we're going to talk about is breathing control or steadying your aim, and we do that by holding the left shift button by default. You'll notice whenever you push left shift here, at the bottom of the screen to the right of the health bar, a pair of lungs pops up and starts pulsing. And once it gets red, you'll see my aim becomes quite a bit more erratic, and so that's the first thing we're going to cover today, is talking about how to manage your breathing in game and how to make that or turn that into an advantage for you. So you'll notice when I aim down my Kar 98 iron sights on the lobby here and I start to hold shift, the air in my lungs starts to run out. It takes approximately 5 seconds for this to happen. Once I let go of shift, 5 more seconds will elapse before my lungs start filling up. That also takes approximately 5 seconds for your lungs to restore back to normal. So just keep this in mind when you're shooting, and here's how you need to implement this: is you don't need to be holding down left shift the whole time if you're not firing. If you're lining up on someone, what you can do is just hold down the shift button for when you're firing, and as soon as you stop firing, let go, and it's going to give you some extra milliseconds here and there, some quarter seconds, some half seconds, to have more accurate shots over a longer duration of time because you're not holding down the left shift button the whole time. And keep this in mind also if you're going up against more advanced players in a firefight. They may be doing the same thing here by managing their breathing and will come at you with some short bursts every 5 to 6 seconds. So let's talk about another way you can aim where it's not aiming down sight and it's not hip firing, but if you just hold the right click button, you'll go into this view here where it's essentially over the shoulder. And this is good for really quick engagements where there may be close quarters and you still need to be able to see a lot. And you can switch which camera or which shoulder you want to look over by pushing either your Q or your E keys, by tapping them while you're still holding the right click button. And this allows you to look around a corner a little bit better in third person, and you'll notice also that this red circle will pop up sometimes whenever you're doing this, and that indicates that your rounds are going to hit the wall when you do that. Now when it comes to choosing whether to aim down sights or just looking over the shoulder fire mode, it really comes down to personal preference. There is a slight aiming penalty when you're just looking over the shoulder in that mode. However, there's a really good added benefit of being able to have a wider field of view, especially when it comes to squads and duos. That way you can allow for quicker target acquisition. So really just play with both of them a little bit and see which one works better for you. Now when it comes to putting some of these things into practice, such as the breathing control, I would recommend doing this. And essentially what that is especially for targets at long range, we're all going to encounter these situations where a target is like 300 to 400 meters away, where we can engage them and they're moving, but we're not really sure how to go about. Number one, you're going to have to learn how to lead a little bit. There's going to be no perfect way to say, hey, you need to lead this much. I usually start with about the tip of their barrel and then adjust from there in terms of where I'm aiming if they're running from side to side. And then if I'm using my breath control, what I'm going to usually do is fire like a 2 to 3 round controlled pair or trio of bullets, and then let go of shift and then push shift again and fire another 2 and 3 rounds and keep adjusting from there until I eventually hit my target, and then you'll kind of know how you're supposed to lead. But you never really want to run out of breath when you need it, so be careful in just holding down your shift key permanently, because it's going to cost you a lot in the long run in some of these split-second firefights. One more thing to remember regarding your aim is that there is a ton of desynchronization going on in the game, and hit registration issues are going to be really frustrating. A lot of this is going to get fixed through patches, but you can do what you need to do to make yourself better whenever there aren't big server issues going on. So keep at it, guys. Practice these things. Watch my first aiming video if you haven't already. If you feel like you learned something, please subscribe. Join our Discord. I am live streaming on YouTube Gaming a couple days a week. Come check it out. We play a lot of PUBG. I will see you guys on the battlefield.